Hi, my name is Victor Wan Orembe, the ICT and Broadcasting Coordinator at Western Nyota Television, and today I'm so eager to share this knowledge with you on video editing. Video editing is a post-production stage where we're going to get the final shape of our program or video, and basically we're going to cut recorded videos into appropriate lengths, arranging the visuals in a proper sequence, and using desired effects for visuals, text, and even instrumentals, and assembling the entire program. In this tutorial, we are going to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is a video editing software application that allows users to create professional looking videos for film, TV, and the web. Adobe Premiere Pro also integrates with other applications and services such as After Effects and Photoshop. Now, this is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is the home screen which you'll always be interacting with when you're doing your video editing. And once you open it, this is the screen that you're going to interact with. At the very top, we have the project bar. Basically, it shows you the software that you're using. For this case, is Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2019, the location where your file is saved, and also it's showing you the title of your project. Then it's followed by the menu bar. The menu bar, this what is written here: file, edit, clip, sequence. It's a menu bar because it contains different aspects and features that you are going to use to manipulate your text. Then we have these different tabs: learning, assembly, editing, color, depending on the workspace that you need. If you want to edit audio, you're just going to click on audio. Then all the features for editing audios will be there. If you want effects, you can just click on the effects tab. You'll find all of them there. Graphics, for assembly, if you want to assemble all your materials together. If you want to learn how to edit, you can also click on this learning tab. It will come with presets or rather predefined training materials that you can use for your training. For this case, you're going to use this editing tab because it's the default one that you're going to be using for editing purposes. And the next thing that we should do, I think, is to explain now the layout. This section over here, it's called the source window. Source window because this is where you view all the videos before you start editing them, before you import them, or rather drag them onto the timeline. This is where you preview them. This other side, it's called the program window. The program window, it's called the program window because that's where whatever you are editing now, the material that you'll be editing, that's where you'll be watching it and also making corrections on it, adding text, videos, and audios. This is called the project window. If you import any video or any audio or any material for video editing, this is going to be located over here where I'm hovering the mouse pointer. Then these are different tools. The first one is a pointer, the selection tool. Basically, it helps you to drag materials from one place to another. The second one, the second tool basically allows you to concatenate files. Track selection tool. You can select an entire track, then move it from one area to another. For you to understand tracks, we'll have to import our files on the timeline so that you can see what tracks are. Will be there in a few. Then this is the ripple edit tool. Basically, it helps you to bring together clips that are far apart, as you illustrate in the next few minutes. Then this is the razor tool. Basically, it's for cutting. Razor, wembe in Swahili, for cutting. This is called the slip tool. As the ripple edit tool brings files that are far apart together, the slip tool creates some space in between those clips. Then this is the pen tool. Basically, it's used for drawing shapes, irregular shapes, and it can also be used to create masks. This is the hand tool. It used to drag files on the, not dragging files, but dragging the timeline. You may suppose you've zoomed in, you may want to view some corners of the program screen. This is the tool that you're going to be using, the hand tool, and of course the text tool for typing text. Text can be horizontal or vertical text. Then of course this is the timeline where all the magic is going to happen now, where you will edit, cut, assemble, and do all sorts of editing on the timeline. The first thing that you want to do in editing is to create a sequence. A sequence is a combination of different clips. Remember that we are going to use clips to edit videos. There are three basic things that you're going to use. One is videos, two is audio, and three is images. And of course, we'll incorporate in texts and shapes. So for you to incorporate all those things to make a video, you have to create a sequence. So just click on sequence. Okay, sorry, you can just right click over here on the project window. Just right click there, then click on a new item, then sequence. Then it's going to open up this screen that allows you to select different dimensions depending on the needs of your video. For this case, for video production, for TV, we are going to use HDV, high definition videos. We have HDV 1080, 25i or 50i, 60i. For this case, we are going to use HDV 1080 24 to 24 because we'll be using 24 frame rates frames per second. 24 frames per second is the industry standard. In some cases, you'll interact with 23.9. It's still same as 24 frames per second. So just click on HDV 1080 24 frames, then click on OK. Then it's going to create that sequence. We have our sequence here. As you can see, it's named sequence 1, and it has now opened up the timeline for dragging of videos onto the timeline. Now basically that's understanding the layout of this software, Adobe Premiere Pro, and also getting to know how to create a sequence. I don't know if you have any questions up to there from Jan. Any question? Yes. Okay, let me just delete this. Okay, maybe before you do that, any questions from you, Diana? Okay. As I had said earlier, a sequence is just a combination of those clips that you've created. A video is made up of video files, of course. It's also made up of audio, it's made up of texts and shapes. All those come as layers. Now those layers are the ones that we call tracks in Premiere Pro. For you to create a sequence under the project window over here, just right click, then click on new, then sequence. Then it opens up this screen. Then depending on the size that you want to create, the video size that you want to create, you can select different resolutions over here. For this case, you're going to use HDV, high definition videos of 1080, 24 frames per second. This one is the industry standard for TV productions. Most of the time you'll be interacting with this. The time base for this is always 23.976 frames per second, abbreviated just as 24 frames per second. Then you can just click on OK. Then here you have your sequence. Okay, we're good. That's nice.
Okay, you must
yes.
use HDV, this HDV 1080.
Yes.
24.
Yes, 24. Yes. That's the standard. You can use all those other different settings. The difference comes in depending on the need. Suppose you want to edit a video that has a lot of slow motion videos, you can use higher frames per second, like 60, even 100 frames per second, so depending on the need. But for these normal videos for TV production, you can just use 23.976. So the next thing is importing your files into Adobe Premiere Pro. But before that, let me show you how you can rename your sequence, because it's just called sequence 1 or 2. Just double click on the sequence, it will open up that sequence for renaming. Then you can rename it to training video 1, then hit enter. We just renamed our sequence. Okay, to import, there are 3 ways of importing your files. First of all, make sure that you've assembled your materials in one folder, at least one folder, for ease of access. Then go to file, then import, click on import, then select, navigate to a storage location where you've stored your files. For this case, let me just navigate to where I've stored our materials for today. Story of my life. Okay, here I have the files that I intend to use for our training today. Then you can select a number of them by holding down the control button on your keyboard, then select the files that you want to import. It can be either audio or video. Let me just select a couple of, a number of them. Okay, I have this audio as well. Let me use it. Then after that, just click on open button at the very bottom. It is going to import the files. Depending on the speed of your computer, it might take a few seconds. Then boom, you have your files on the project window over here. Okay, up to there, are we okay? Now the next thing, okay, I had indicated that there are 3 different ways of importing, and we've just seen the first one. And the second one is using a shortcut, Control I. Just hit Control I on your keyboard, then it's going to open a storage location where you can select the videos of your choice. Let's say you want to select these videos. I want to select this palm tree. Is it palm or palm? Okay, then open. You see, it still imports. Then the other method is opening the folder that you have your files. Then you can just drag and drop the files into your project Hivo. Then you have your files imported into Adobe Premiere Pro. The next stage that you want to do is joining the videos, concatenating them now to form a real sequence of videos. First of all, remember that I indicated that this way you preview your files on this screen. The source window is where you preview your files before you drag them onto the timeline. For you to be able to preview them, there are 2 ways. One, you can just double click them and it's going to open up. As you can see, it has opened there. When you play it, or you can just drag your video and drop it here. There it is, you can play it. Those are 2 ways of putting your video onto the source window, just to preview it before you can edit it. Now this source window has got these features called markers. Markers basically are indicators of where you want your video to begin, your video clip, where you want it to begin and to end. Suppose you have this video called Birds on the Line. Let's preview it and see. suppose we want to drag this video on the timeline from the time that bird flies away. We can just drag our pointer up to the time this bird starts to fly away. There, then we mark it in. Then we play it until that part that it disappears. Then we mark it out. So you notice that we've marked in and out. There are two ways of doing that. The shortcut is you can place this pointer at a point where you want to mark in, then just click on letter I on the keyboard, I for in. Then go to the end where you want it to end, then click on letter O for out. Nice. Then again, there are two features on this screen that allows you either to drag the video alone or drag the audio alone, or even drag the entire clip with both audio and video. This icon over here, it's called drag video only. Suppose I drag this video only to the timeline. Okay, yeah, it's telling us that this video clip does not match the sequence settings. Change settings to match the settings. Okay, in this case, I want the video to conform to the sequence that I've created, not the sequence I've created to conform to the sequence to the video's settings. So I just click on keep existing settings. There we have it. So when we play, it's not playing the entire video as it is here. It's just playing that clip, the section that we marked in and out. Hivo. Then you can do that on the next video as well. If you notice, we've just begun now arranging videos on our timeline. A video should serve a purpose, so let's see which clip should begin, which one should come next. I think I have a video that okay, I think this one is good for this aerial clip to begin with. Let's say we want our video to start with that drone shot. Okay, just drag that to the timeline. We have it over there. Okay, it's taking some seconds to load. So depending on the speed of your laptop, let me just redo that. Okay, there we have it. So we have that drone shot, and you notice that the size of the frame, the video is bigger than the frame. So you just right click on it, then navigate down to scale to frame size. Like that, the video has now conformed to the settings and the size of the sequence that you created. So when you play it, that's how it is. You want it to play for a number of seconds, then you want this roll to be the next on the clip. Just mark in where you want it to begin. Drag video only for this case. So when you play, this is how our video is looking like. Okay, let's go on the next clip. Who loves birds here? Diana? We have some birds feeding over here. Let's see one that's on the next clip. Okay, arrange it on the timeline as well. This is how our video is looking now. It switches through that. Okay. Then for this one also, you can right click on it, then scale to frame size. Okay, it's looking good now. You identify the next video as well. The next video. Okay, let me see. birds online. Okay, we can in fact use this as our next video. Just mark in and out, then drag it on the timeline. There we have it. So when you preview it, this is how our video is looking. Okay, we've just concatenated, joined those different clips together, and now the next thing that you want to do is to put an audio file so that we have some background music at the very end. To import a background music, you can still do the same by just identifying where you have your file, your audio file. For this case, this is it. I had already imported it. That's the audio file. Okay, and just mark it in where you want it to begin as well, and drag it to where you want it to end. Mark out, then drag your audio onto the timeline. Sorry. So when you play your video, this is how it's going to do. Suppose you want to boost the audio. At times you notice that the audio levels are so low. What you do is that you click on the audio file on this timeline, and then right click, then go to audio gain over here, click on audio gain, then you can type in a number. If you type in negative something, negative, maybe -1, 2 or 3, it's going to decrease that video by that number. But if you add a positive number, maybe 8, 10, 9, let's say we want to boost it by 6, then you just click on OK. The video has been boosted. If you play, you notice that the audio has boosted. Okay, that's good. Now you want to reduce this audio to fit the duration of these videos that you've created. There are two ways of doing it. First, if you using the selection tool, just position it at the very end of that audio, then you can drag it to that size, or rather the duration, so that when you play it, the video ends at the same time. That's good. The other way is to use the razor tool. Just click on the razor tool, then cut at the exact position where you want your video to end. Just click on it. We've made a cut there. Then go back to the selection tool. Click on the section that you want to delete. Then just using the delete button on your keyboard, you can delete it. They serve the same purpose. Now the next thing that you want to do is creating transitions. There's a default transition that comes with Adobe Premiere Pro, and what you need to do is just to identify where you want to place the transition at the very at the end of the first clip and the beginning of the first clip. Just click there, then right click, then apply default transitions. Default transitions is a fade. I don't know if you are able to see how it's fading in. Notice the difference between the transition from the first clip and the transition from the second clip to the third clip. This one is a fade. This one is just a normal cut. You notice that? Okay. For you to access different other transitions, just go to Effects tab. Okay, if it's still waiting for too long, you can still access it using this button over here. Then navigate to Effects tab. Then you can go and check under Video Transitions over here. Then we have these different sets of transitions that you can use. Let's say you want those native transitions like a page opening. You can always get them here, like a page build. Is it a page turn or a page build? You just drag it and drop it at the center at the end of the first clip and the beginning of the second clip, like that. So that when you play your video, the transition looks like. So let's apply a different transition, maybe a band slide. Apply it there. That's how it looks like. Let's also apply a different transition. Like that. That's what it looks like. Okay. So you can also do that for your first slide for its entry. Consider as a PowerPoint slide. You can just identify you can identify a transition of your choice, then apply it at the very beginning, so that when you play, this how you can have that transition, then again that transition. I don't like the first transition, is too similar to the second transition, so let's try and use a different transition as a center cut. Okay, I think that looks better. So transitions, for you to access them, there are two ways. You can go on the effects tab on the very top tabs over here. However, you can also click on this button over here, then select effects, then you will have your video transitions. You can choose ones of your choice, then apply them. Just drag and drop them on the video of your choice. Then yes, okay, welcome. The next thing that you want to do is applying text. Of course, text is a very important aspect of your videos. When you are not doing a voiceover, you may decide to communicate either through pictures, through videos, or through those texts. So let's say you want to test some text. There's this text tool at the very bottom of our toolbar here. When you long press it, it opens up two different features. The first feature allows you to use a type tool that does horizontal text, and a vertical tool that writes vertical text. Most of the time we want to use vertical. We want to use the horizontal text. So just click on type tool. Your cursor immediately changes. Your mouse pointer immediately changes into a typing cursor. Then you can click on this screen where you want to type, like that. Then immediately you notice that it has created a layer of its own on the timeline, and also it has created as a text box on the timeline, on the program screen. So you can type in a title, then propose a title for this video. Okay, now that's our text. But now you notice that our text is so boring. It's not placed at the correct it's not positioned well. So what you can do is click on the selection tool, then use it to drag around this text to a position of your choice. Okay, another way of positioning it, click on this effects tab, effects controls over here. Just click on it. It's going to open up these features that allow you to manipulate that text, like changing its size, its font, its color, and so many other things. Now, using these position X and Y axis coordinates, you can move it around as you wish. But now, importantly, you can change its font. Okay, depending on the fonts that you have on your computer. Remember that these fonts, you can always download them from the internet on different websites like Daffonts, like My Fonts, Google My Fonts, and such other softwares. Identify a font of your choice. For this case, I want Montserrat Extra bold. Then you can resize it by just dragging the text size, then still position it where you want, like that. Now it's beginning to look better, but again, remember that it's not positioned at the very beginning. Would you want it to remain there? Where would you want it to be? At the very beginning. So you just drag it on the timeline and put it on the beginning to size its duration to fit your needs. Then remember, for this text you can also add default transition just to make it smooth. Let me show you what I mean. When you play this video, see, it's just popping like that. You may want it to be smooth. For you to do that, you can use the default transitions for Premiere Pro. Just select at the very beginning of that clip, right click, then apply default transitions, and also at the beginning, right click and apply default transitions. So when you play it, it's like it's giving it some sort of opacity. Okay, so let's save our work. Always remember to save your work. Electricity might decide to do that thing. And now that's the first thing, the first way of importing text. However, there are some other features that you may want, like changing its font color, giving it some outline. Just select the text, then go back to the Effects and Control tab, drag down this slider to where you see appearance. Appearance basically gives you an option to change the fill and the stroke. Stroke is the outline, but you have to enable it first, so before you can use it. So for you to change the color of that text, nature is green, so you may want to use green. So just double click there, then select a green color. You must be good with colors, by the way, and you must also be able to know the different shades of colors. For this case, we are using a dark shade of green, just to symbolize nature, that thicket, a thicket of the forest. So when you play it, you realize that it's in the forest, we are not really seeing that text. Now that's where stroke comes in. Stroke gives it an outline. Remember that by default stroke is deactivated. Just activate it, give it a color. For this case, you want it to be white. Okay, then increase the size of the stroke by either typing in a number here, just dragging it in this manner. Don't make it too big, just enough to make it visible. So okay. So we are communicating that everything in a video should speak of a story. Even the choice of colors, you don't just pick any color. Imagine if this was red. If this was red, what are you communicating? You see? So your colors should be in line with the objective of that video. If you are doing agriculture, try and focus on green, brown for soil, and balance those colors. Now the other way of inserting text, go on the graphics tab over here. It's here. Click on graphics. It's going to open up a different menu that will now give you these presets that come with the Adobe Premiere Pro. You can now select different text that you have in your laptop or computer. Remember that these files, you can still access them online. You can download these templates. The extension is .morgt. You can search those extensions online, then get those templates and install them on your laptop. So for this case, let's identify a text. Okay, let's see which one is this. Okay, let's say we want to use this. How do you import it on the timeline? Just drag it and drop it where you want it to be, like that. Are we together? It's trying to fetch the fonts from online because the fonts that were used to create that template are not installed on my laptop, so you can just cancel that. So once you are there, you can preview your video, see how it's playing, your title here and episode name. That's not what you wanted to be written. The question is, how do we change that text from your title here, episode name? You want to change it to a film by Victor 1. Okay, so as you're still on the graphics tab, you are on browse. Click on that text that you've imported, then on edit on this right hand side, then click on the text that you want to change. For this case, your title here. Then you can double click hapo katikati ya your text, inside your text, then give it a title, a film by, just that. Then double click on the next text that you want to change. For this case, it's episode name. Then again double click there and give it a name, Victor 1. Okay, that is it. So when you play, let's roll from the beginning. Like that. Then you can go back to your editing tab. We good up to there? Any question? Remember that this video will always be available for review, but I can still make clarifications for this case. Just click on the graphics, then browse a text of your choice. Let's say you want to use this one. Just drag it and drop it on the timeline where you want it to be. Cancel this because it's trying, basically it's just trying to fetch the font that was used to create that template from the internet. But just cancel that. So when you play, this is how okay, so that is just affected. Welcome back. This is Victor from Western Nyota Television, and I had taken you through how creating this video over here. Let's just preview it and see how it is. Okay, up to there, the next thing that you want to do is now to learn how to remove a background on a green screen recorded video. And I have some files that I've imported over here. So the first step that you need to do is import the file. Once you've imported the file, locate it on the project window over here. Let me identify it in a short while. Okay, it's called green screen. It's here. Okay, once you've done that, import it on the timeline. Okay, once you've imported it on the timeline, what you have to do next is to place it on the second video track, as it is on video 2. As you can see, this video 1, this video 2, so we are placing it on video 2. Let's resize it a little so that it just fits right on our sequence. That looks good. Okay, the next thing that we should do is now to place a background layer, a layer that will be the background of this video. So let's identify it. I have a video with some swings. I think this one is also good. Okay, just drag it and place it right below the video and elongate it to fit the dimensions, rather the duration of the top video. And once you've done that, navigate to effects, then search for an effect called ultra key. Okay, there we have ultra key. Drag the effect to the video with the green screen, drop it there, then under effects control tab at the top, navigate to the effect called ultra key. Using the eyedropper tool, select on the green color as illustrated on the screen. Okay, there we have it. Now when you play your video, this is how it looks like. It's looking good. Okay, after that you can now elongate your soundtrack to fit the entire duration, so that when you play the entire video, this is how it looks like. Okay, that looks good. And now the next thing we want to do is to give a transition at the very end here. To give it a smooth ending, just right click and apply default transition on both clips and also the audio, so that when you play, this is how the transition is. That looks good. Basically, that's how you place, you remove a green screen. That's how you use a green screen to change the background of a video, and you place below another. That's how you use a green screen to change the background of a video, by inserting a different video below it, so that you can be able to see, or rather to combine the two videos to have a different looking video. Basically, we've learned how to open Adobe Premiere Pro, and how to import, how to edit the clips by placing them on the timeline, how to concatenate them, how to apply text, how to apply effects such as transitions, also how to remove a green screen. I hope to see you in our next video, so stay tuned.